Okay.
One of the buildings is sold, so one man.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Bill asked me to stop in tonight to let you guys know we're going to be doing a little land clearing over.
I don't know who's here, but this is on Shrine Ave.
Yep.
He called me this afternoon, and I had him come in, he wants to cut down some trees and that. And evidently there's opinion that you're stakeholders, so you're welcome to make them. So let him say.
Is it a public hearing?
No, I'll talk to him, no, I didn't know, I got called from the town. So he's just gonna tell me what he's doing, which I already know, we've already had site visits and everything. It's kind of sort of outside that jurisdiction anyway, outside of the middle school. Vernal pool's only 15 foot, so that's why it's out. But we don't know exactly what he's doing. He's approached us with several different things. So I told him to come in because he wanted to start cutting trees. So we asked him to come in and he was going to do it. So he called me like 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Told me he was going to do it. I said, well, can you come in tonight? I have a public hearing at 7. That's why I opened a little earlier. And it's not really a public hearing, but you know.
Yeah, we just want to know.
Right. Okay.
Could everyone sign in?
So Joey, it's all yours.
We are engaged to tree cutter, and I know we met last fall.
Right.
We talked about getting our project going. You said, why don't you get a little further, hold off, yeah, so we
Right.
did. So we decided not to clear that, and we're getting ready to submit something, we're in the final stage of getting plans ready to submit to planning board for developing the site.
Okay.
So I want to come here, do you want the wattles up before we start
Well,
cutting? I mean, what are you gonna be looking for from me? Anything, or we're not gonna stump, we're just gonna cut?
well, first of all, was it 1 building or 2 buildings?
Well, we're gonna clear all the upland.
You're cleaning everything. all the way to
Everything,
the end.
yeah.
Right, you people even know what this looks like? You don't know anything?
It doesn't abut the back of anybody's property on the Gorse Circle.
Okay,
Maroney's land comes down and slices in there. So maybe we're called Maroney owns a piece on the corner. We're on the back side of the first white range, but it jumps way out 100 yards, maybe 80, 100 yards
I
away
know
from all of the Gorse Circle.
You don't have
property.
these. Doesn't matter. I have one, I didn't know we were gonna get to this. You don't have a picture?
I don't.
What are your, I know what your concerns are, but can you express them verbally?
We are not knowing this was even happening is kind of interesting, so finding out today was great, so we can at least talk about it. I mean, right, already there's a big thing there that's gonna only grow, it's gonna take away all the visitor, it's gonna take away all the sound that we have, there's barriers, there's a big shopping area, where cars that drive over there, there's deer, there's the pond. Now, I didn't know the pond didn't matter. I think that was the
What are the
wetland.
environmental studies that were done about that pond? Isn't there like wood turtles and like specific fish?
It is a
that are-
registered vernal pool, but there's only 15 feet of impact area around it.
Well, I thought he wants to drain the pond.
Oh, no.
Right? I made the pond, it was dead. We actually brought it back.
They brought it, actually, they're the ones.
It was buried in sand. We spent our own money and brought that vernal pool back and stopped the town from dumping sand in there. And we created an area now, a detention area that settled to sand, so there's no more sand entering that wetland anymore.
They also had a culvert that used to come through, which they've gotten rid of, and now they have moved it down.
Right, so we protected it. We actually improved the overall
From that
life
point
of that.
of view, it's an absolute true statement.
And now what are you gonna do with it? What's gonna happen when you're putting up all those houses all around that little tiny area?
Well, it's not,
Much
let's
gravel.
clarify that too, it's
It's 3 acres.
no, but how many buildings is it actually?
We're not sure yet exactly what but that's gonna be ultimately decided with planning board.
Ideally, what it is, he's running utilities and everything in the pavement going up.
Yeah.
So it's like a long driveway, if you will, and along on the left-hand side of that driveway would be the buildings.
And where's
So
that
he's
gonna-
going all the way up because obviously that would be his first building and then come back down. Or it would be the furthest extent of his utilities.
Right, because you gotta get the driveway into
Right.
first.
What we didn't want is build a building here, which for him would be the normal way to do it, because it's the least amount of money spent. And then he sells these units or whatever he does with them, and then moves on to the next one and the next one, creating a mess.
Stabilized as possible.
Exactly. We wanted a one-shot deal.
Where's the driveway going? How you getting in there, Joe?
Right, where the White House on the corner, right, you'll see the lot lines. we're coming in about 20 feet to the right of those lot lines.
Do they know that? That house?
Sure, that's Maroney owns that. They're actually got their land for sale behind there, and who knows, there may be something in conjunction with, that'll be someday, but right now there is no
No
plan
one's
for
out
that.
front of this.
No, we each have our own frontage.
But again, there is no law in this town about trees. We had this problem down opposite the Flag RV. And one day we had trees and one day we had no trees. And I went to Anita and said, what's that?
It's just gonna be so loud, I'll have to sell my house because I won't be able to live there, it'll be so loud and obnoxious. The whole summer spread is gone then, I won't have any peace and quiet, because he's gonna be building them.
We tried to get something with trees and it went
Can he
nowhere.
save some trees so I don't have to look at all this stuff? Can I
There's gonna be at
have
least
so
an
many feet?
8-yard buffer between the backyard and the back of the houses. Then we're gonna be building, at least an 80-yard buffer that I can't control because the Maroney family owns.
Right.
They could come and put a road in there right off your
Well, they say
backyard.
they're not gonna do that, it's about you right now, not them, they
Right.
seem to be.
I don't have control over that buffer.
Can I make a suggestion, Why don't you go clean up your stuff first before you cut down anything?
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you, John. Oh,
Doesn't that make more sense?
yes, please.
Just ask me what you're gonna require from the clean, if I wanted to stop, what would be required?
Like I said, basically it's outside the jurisdiction.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you're being nice, we're trying to be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's-
As long as I stay within 25 feet of my red, the yellow, the blue flags, we're not in any violation of the rules again.
That's correct.
I will take that under advisement,
I was
John.
gonna say, Joe, John brought up a good point.
No, we'll take that under advisement, I just
Don't
wanna
put the
be,
cat before the horse, put the horse before the cat.
we're gonna put something there, we're allowed by right to do something that, we could go tomorrow to building officer for permits for 4
Absolutely
units.
true, Scott.
Okay?
Let me ask you this, Joe.
Yeah.
Just curiosity, that road or that driveway, is it gonna be paved before you start your building?
Of course. But it's not a public way, you gotta remember that, it's a driveway. So to the best of my knowledge, however the plan goes, it's my believing that we're gonna be paving that driveway, absolutely. But I don't think that that's again, planning board is, Yeah.
It's not our jurisdiction.
yeah, it's our goal to get that whole driveway in before we start digging a cellar hole.
Our sole jurisdiction would be the water displacement,
Okay?
the offering coming after the vernal pool, and what you're gonna do for recharge for the buildings. And we've had this conversation,
Yeah,
but for the people out there,
okay, we're just,
really what we're looking for is impact on our vernal pool, and that's the sole jurisdiction of this board.
There'll be a lot of water coming down there.
Yeah.
I don't
There's a lot of
disagree,
water.
but I haven't seen anything yet. This is just a preliminary thing. He wanted to cut down some trees because evidently he got a good price from whoever's cutting down trees today.
He gets a good price on anything, he can find a good price on
oh, he might.
But let's not take
Yeah,
I
down
will
the
put,
trees
public
first.
notice out, the land would be available for sale if a right offer was made. If someone comes to come in and preserve it. I met with Jim French at the DCR, and he said the DCR is not interested in protecting that land. So I can tell you, I did try to do that also, and I was told they didn't want it.
No, I think it's been moving.
Yeah, but it is available, and you guys wanna get a fund together and buy it up. I'm open for that too.
And it'd be
Okay.
like fun Joey, or how's this?
Yeah.
What is the price selling?
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Well, what is the next step though for us to keep the apprehension?
Planning board meeting, I think,
Planning
probably a
board.
month.
1 second, Dave?
Are you building houses or are you building towns?
Condos, townhouses, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
You don't know how many?
We don't, we gotta go to planning board to get a definite number on that.
This was a solely a.
Because the reason I'm asking is because the bylaw says that if it's more than 4,
Site plan review,
then you have to go to the planning board. If it's
Absolutely.
less than, if it's
we
4
go
or
get a
less,
building permit, right?
then you have to come to the ZBA.
Nope,
Yes.
it's allowed by right, 4 units,
No.
nothing. I've
Being
done
planned.
tons.
That's got nothing to do with us.
I can water trees, I have nothing to do with
Well,
it.
can I just add in about the trees
Thank
that,
you.
Linda's right, it would add noise. In fact, there's also the driving school behind there, because I also live right next door to them.
Right.
And the noise in this, all year long, but especially in the summer of
Skid school.
skid school,
Yeah, it's
that would be
trees are on.
amplified unbelievably, not to mention all of the bees are in extreme trouble right now, which is impacting our whole town. And so we're taking down all of these trees, we're gonna impact in all of the environment, not just the woods
I
there.
have a
but the whole
set
neighborhood.
Number of papers they call 310, that's all I'm allowed to do.
Well,
So I got a perimeter
honestly,
here on page 1, and page 300 and some odd, that's it, I'm done. And this is outside.
Well, we'll just hope he does the right thing, goes to planning board, and works with him.
It doesn't take trees down for no reason, because what if you can't build after all that, I have no trees.
I absolutely agree, but there's nothing this town does about that.
I understand. So
Talk
it's
about
not.
that, 'cause I don't know anything about that. You're right.
Has everyone signed in? Has everyone signed in?
There's a slip right there from the side.
Heidi thought that if you have to turn over the page, that's all right.
After this worked out well. I didn't know there was any problems at all.
That's all you can hear is
Joe.
One more question though,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
we stop him from taking those trees down before he gets to go ahead, is there anything we can do?
Not
Can
that
I make a
know of.
suggestion? Can I make a suggestion? His next move, I believe, would be to go to the planning board. Okay?
Okay?
My suggestion to you is that you go to that meeting and express your concerns to the board. And to the extent of saying, can he hold back? Ask the question, don't demand the question.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Ask if he can hold back on cutting the trees until a final definitive plan has been approved by the board, planning board.
That makes sense.
That's not, I mean, to me, that's not a big request. I think it's a courteous request to ask.
Isn't the,
You follow me what I'm saying?
the
Absolutely.
tree board?
Yeah, but I've had this conversation with him many times. I don't think there's any way we can stop trees from being cut down in this town.
There's, under the Forestry Cutting Practice Act, change of use for cutting trees is permissible under the state statute. Also, if you're gonna cut trees for agriculture, it's permissible. If you're gonna cut under 50 cord per year or under 25,000 board feet per year, it's permissible. Anything above that, you have to file what they call a cutting plan with the Department of Forestry and Parks.
We had one here tonight.
But since he's doing a change of use, he's exempt from
It'll be cut tomorrow.
No, I think he's very reasonable. I mean,
I
from our point of view, we haven't had a problem with him. I understand other things. But from our point of view, we haven't had a
Well,
problem.
the planning board, like Dave said, that's more
Yeah,
important, because all you guys go together, tell them what you want. They'll know.
Because that's gonna, you're gonna run it over there to a man called Vincent Vignali. And he works for DCR, he used to be on this committee years ago. He's well versed in the wetlands.
Okay.
And probably more than sympathetic to what you're
Yeah,
trying.
and not only is he well versed in the wetlands too, but Vinny's a very intelligent engineer, he's a very intelligent man, and he's compassionate, and he actually, I think Dave, is he chairman of the planning board?
No, ZBA.
No,
Vinny, yeah.
That's what I said, Vinny's chairman. It wouldn't hurt even to give him a call and tell him your concern. It might drop the gears down a little bit from 4th feet down to 3rd, so to slow things up a little bit. It's worth a try.
Thank you.
It's worth a try. But I would definitely go to the meetings.
Yeah. As long as it gets posted, within 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is one of the quicker ones. But we
But that
appreciate
should
your
be
concern.
posted, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a public
Amount of
hearing.
time. Great, thank you so much.
All right. All right, can I have a motion to open the meeting?
You don't want to stay here without telling
Do you have any other? Oh, yeah. You read that one, you have a voice? This is Steve.
This is Steve?
Yeah.
This is for you, Steve?
Yeah.
This is you?
West Boylston
Wait a
Conservation.
minute, wait a minute.
He's gonna recuse himself.
Toby, I want to accuse myself on this public hearing.
You want to read it? Just kidding. A public hearing will be held in accordance with General Law 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, An application of Steve Mercurio, request for determination of applicability for the top dressing of the existing driveway area with like material at 408 Worcester Street, West Boylston, Mass. Public hearing will be held on Monday, April 2nd, 2018, 7 p.m. at West Boylston Town Hall, Town Offices, 141, 140 Worcester Street, West Boylston, Mass. Not my favorite job.
Steven, you're on.
Okay, I came and we sat down, a while back, and you came out and actually looked at the area. Basically, what I'm doing is just top dressing the area that was there for years, and it was like a little roadway, if you will, and we used to keep, planks there and bricks and stones and stuff like that in the block for, our use in the masonry business. So I cleaned the area up a little bit, and it's settled a little bit, and that's all I'm doing is top dressing the area with the same material that was there for years. I'm not changing anything. I've already put wattles in place to make sure nothing would go down into the brook area at all. And again, it's just top dress. That's all I'm doing.
Can we just put some meetings?
Absolutely, but you still have to come.
No, fine.
Yeah, you can do that with a motion.
Okay.
Any questions? No? Yeah,
Well, we move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
I made a motion to let him, do what he's gonna do as a repair, so it's in a way.
Are you doing that with a Dennis grader, just a gravel?
Yeah, just gravel that was there prior.
Oh,
Just-
all right, now you
just-
add it.
Yeah,
Smooth it
just
up.
moving it out, that's all.
Exactly
I'm
what it is,
taking,
driveway.
I'm not taking anything out, I'm just top dressing it, to level it out, and actually to clean up it a little bit, make it look better.
Put down as a repair.
Yeah.
Okay. Second on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. You all set?
Thank you so much.
Hey, listen.
We had a, good truck.
And you had a question on any other house?
Oh,
You
yeah,
have a
that's,
problem with Nancy on that, or maybe?
no, I mean, I'm still moving forward with that,
Okay.
and, it's going, but it's going slow, step by step.
If you need it, I'll give you a
I
call.
will, thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a nice night. Thank
We'll
you.
do this one on,
What's that?
you didn't see
Send it back in on the
the-
opposite
Very well.
And this we'll do it on Sunday on.
side.
It's okay. You stay where you all stay, we should.
Hold it, just hold it back in. Alright.
What meeting you wanna do?
You can do this one.
Hang on, let me get this to you.
Where is it? Oh, it's Chad.
And well, he's just.
Continued public hearing notice, continued public hearing will be held in accordance with the general laws, chapter 131, section 40, Wetlands Protection Act on the application of SEG Group, LLC, request a determination of applicability. The construction of a new parking area in support of the existing building at 340 West Boylston Street, West Boylston, Mass. Continued public hearing will be held Monday, April 2nd, 2018 at 7:15 at the West Boylston Town offices. All right.
My client's running a little late. Is there a possibility of pushing this back further on the agenda? If not, I'll go forward.
We opened it.
I opened it, I can, yeah, we can wait. I got 15 minutes for my next one. I figured you would be very brief, so.
I can be very brief. Al Trakemus with Sytec Environmental. Since our last meeting, we have prepared a revised plan which has been submitted. And at this time, based on all the comments that we received, review. And what we were requesting the permission for is to pipe the drainage ditch that's along the rear of the building, clean up the whole entire back of the building area is disturbed. So what we'd like to do is pipe the drainage ditch, clear out the scrub and the piles of rubble that has been deposited there over the years, and then just leave the area with gravel crushed stone for the moment. And then once my client decides what his future plans are for the building and expansion, then we come back to you and the planning board with a site plan for any improvements. So what we would do is we would leave the area that the drainage ditch was in a permeable state, as I said, crushed stone, and clean up the rear of the site. And that's all we're looking for right now.
Yep.
So it's all questions. Sorry about that.
This is that, little pop up.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying about DEP for water quality and DCR. You'd have to file with DCR also on this, because it comes under watershed. Because that is the pipe coming, this one here, is actually needs fit.
Right.
They have brought it down around Israel's property and comes down the far end. But Dave lived here all his life, and evidently Israel built all that property up above, and all those drains that are in the houses and all that, that is all gates broken.
So that starts at the other end of
Actually, the drainage starts in Cumberland. This is the mall here. That's their head wall. So that's all your parking lot. This is all housing up above on the hill. All comes down. This one here, this is the culvert, goes underneath into the one behind DQ.
Yeah.
But all the houses up in back, Cumberland.
Yeah, he built all those.
He built all those. All that drainage is really all gates broke. The headwaters, if you will.
So this place goes underneath the parking lot, and then it comes out into the open, right?
Yes.
And then it goes underneath the pipe. Oh, yeah.
No, this is open on this side. Well, yeah, that road. And then it opens up on DQ.
That's the area we got a problem with DQ in the back, wasn't it?
That's correct. They put it on the house.
And that's open, that's just going to go.
Right, exactly.
Or on this side of the
Sure.
road, it's the open area.
What's on the top of here now?
It's an open ditch.
So, okay, so when we do this, does this have permission from that first before we do anything? Did we talk about that?
Well, yes, tentatively, I don't have a problem. I think from our point of view, it's better if he does this program as far as clean water or whatever. So I would like to see him go to DEP. I mean, me as a single commissioner, I would approve this thing just on it's a better end result for us. Gets rid of all the dirt, gets rid of the pollution going in the water, etc.
Billy, he's got, this is all going to be filled in?
Yes.
Paved?
No,
Filled in with-
just gravel and crushed stone, no pavement.
It's all going to be pervious.
Yes.
You're going to have this catch basin or
Manhole, because we're right at the head wall there, so the head wall would get removed. We'd add about 4 feet, 5 feet of pipe into
so this pipe is going to connect to this one?
Right.
Through the manhole?
Yes.
Down here likewise, same thing?
Right.
That hooks into the open culvert. There's one under the road and one coming down.
So this is all going to be used as a parking eventually?
Hopefully, yes, yeah.
So what about the water coming off Denali and coming down the hill? Is it two things right there? So,
No, just a single thing. I mean, there's drainage that goes in there. I mean, gathers all the water.
Not from the road.
Not from the road, but from the streets and everything. Because you have crossroads going there too. That drains the entire side of that hill.
so when it comes to off the Denali, it must go into this open. It has to go into this.
Everything, this is all paved area back here, and everything here goes into catch basins that empty out into this area here. Okay, this, on the far right.
Coming into the parking lot.
Okay, all the parking lot goes, wraps around right to Denali. This is the parking lot here. This is all parking lot, and with drainage that empties out here. It really is, the streets are
He's getting
down.
captured over here.
I think runs through,
asking.
this is all
The
concrete,
drainage
this side of
comes
the
off of
road.
the hill and is
So
that?
everything coming this way is getting.
Where's that
connected to
going?
head.
I don't know.
And then it comes down here and goes into this.
But there's
Yeah,
like
well,
curving,
now.
here. This is like,
This is
there's like,
actually the road itself.
there's an area here that's
Comes
surface.
down and dumps.
I mean, don't forget now, the only opening for this brook here is this, there's an elbow here. And why they never connected, so it's underground through the whole the parking lot, okay? And it comes out here, and it just, you know, and there's an elbow, there's an area of this size there that's open.
He's gonna-
Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it goes under the Nillian, and then it opens up over here, and it continues to go open all the way to the rest
So
of the.
you're the owner of this property?
I'm the owner of the property there, and that, you know, this is it, I can't use any part, there's a fence here, this is it, it's, yeah, I can't rent
What
it out.
do you plan to do with this?
I'd like to rent it, I've had a couple of interest, but they have no parking. I'd
So
like to-
rent it for a restaurant?
Restaurant or, you know, whatever comes down the road, they're not necessarily.
And you just said that, when I asked the question, does the water come off of the Nillian, does it go into here? You said no.
Not that I saw. I've been there.
It has to, I find that hard to believe that the water coming off of the Nillian doesn't.
Why wouldn't it go on this side? Why?
Well, either one, either side.
So, okay, so if it goes into the brook, or maybe it continues on down to West Boylston Street and goes across the street, I mean, it is a downhill.
Well, there's no erosion, I can tell you that, there's no erosion
No.
from the, right. So I think you're right, I think the storm drains on the actual road go up above, the side roads right there, I know. for a
I
fact.
don't see, water coming down the hill and just going here, I just don't see that, I've been there numerous times.
How it gets there is immaterial, we know
Well,
it
the
gets
water
there.
that gets here comes from the brook. This water that's stagnant in here is the brook. There's a
So that
pipe.
pipe also is a drainage for that entire side of that hill, that's my whole.
Oh, I don't know, it comes from,
Right.
it comes from the brook, it goes underground, the whole parking lot, and it opens up here. But the actual, this water that's,
As far as road
Created
drainage
here.
right there, I think he's correct.
I don't see this road drainage going in here at all.
How far back does your property go? Compared to the building, yeah, where's the?
I think he's back here.
The
You on
property
the other
is-
side?
the-
Oh,
the-
back there, right.
So where was the, is this the,
That's the Dollar General.
so you're about halfway or something?
No, these are the borders of the,
Fence.
this is the border of the property, the dark
Bunch
the
of
dark
powder dirt
line
right
is the
there,
property.
and then he moves past that. Probably another
These
100
guys
feet.
park here?
There's no, you can't park here, this is all fenced in, so what happens is, all I can deal with is just this area right here for parking, and I'm limited.
So what is this?
So
look
this,
like now?
there's an opening here that goes into, well, this is all a parking lot here, this is a parking lot.
So this is what Doug,
This is all parking back here, and that pipe comes underneath the
Those
whole
doors,
Yeah, I
parking
see
lot.
that.
Yeah.
This is where the trucks come in and they load that side door.
So do they use this here for access, you know?
This particular area, no, because this is not
That's
paved.
an edge of the parking lot.
This
Big
is not
piles of
paved.
dirt there
This
right
is
now.
paved.
See, the problem is the front of this is, it looks from the street like you've got all the parking, that really doesn't, because Route 12, it takes about half that, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is his actual
This is
property.
all out of state.
Right.
Well,
This is all
Like,
state.
like everything up and down
Yeah, I
the
know.
street.
Everything's like that,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. My boundary is the dark area, the dark line on this thing. And right now, it's split in two. This is unusable because of this man-made ditch that's been created here, which now falls under conservation, but it was made by this guy here dumping into this area, and also the drainage decided not to put an elbow here in order to bring it across the Nillian. It just opens it there for an area that from here to you.
So how many parking spaces you looking to put back there?
10, 12, you know, something reasonable, just to be able to make it a functionable situation in the
Keep
front.
another 15, then you don't have to go to say.
I will, and whatever it takes, we'll do, yeah.
That's what triggers
Can it
it.
be crushed rock and not pavement? for parking?
We're gonna do that crushed rock and up pavement in order to get the drainage properly, you know what I mean? Even though this thing is gonna be, you know, state of the art stuff.
Back into our forum, he's got about 50 feet, maybe 60 feet of wetlands. All the trees down there outside of a couple of maples or oak. My thing is, from an optical point of view, it would be better looking doing what he's doing. From a functional point of view, it works for him, and also works for the town. And from a water point of view, which is what we're about, it would have cleaner water.
The town is very interesting, getting that cleaned up, because, you know, that's the first thing you see when you come to town.
You know, and I'm willing, you know, like I said, I can't do anything with this property the way it is now. I mean, you've had it like this for years and years and years, and I'm realizing it now. I'm going on a year there. People are showing interest in the property and stuff like that, but then when they go to the back there and say, you know, where can my customers park, it's.
So, again, I just wanna make sure, so we're gonna, if we say this is good, then he's gonna.
What I would like to do, from my point of view, as a single person here, I'd like to close out the hearing with a recommendation that we agree with what he's doing. But he needs DEP for water quality, and he needs DCR.
So, we'll put the approval, if we could vote that, we'll do that approval.
We'd like your blessing to go forward, basically, you know what I mean?
And then when you get finalized, come back with an NOI, but I know exactly what you're doing. I have no problem with your concept, I think it's a great concept, and it's a great piece of land, one of the best lots in the
It
town.
could be if the right thing is being made, if we're allowed to do the improvements.
Yeah, I mean, I think before we give him our blessing, he's gotta, like you said, go through DEP, DCR.
It'd be nice if we had your blessing
Think you
as
need
we
our
go
blessing
to
to go
go to them, you know, because you are the first, the
DCR's gonna say no on a ride, and they don't want anything done.
Is there a possibility of that?
Well, according to what he said, because that's a man-made
Trench.
trench, and I'm only going on what Bill said, that it's permissible.
So who's the bottom one? Who's the last word, DEP?
Well, there's no real wetlands there, they could pick that up easily under reclamation. I think DEP is the one for water quality. I mean, DCR is gonna have their input, no question. But,
I don't see a downside here.
I don't really downside for us.
Right now, it's no side rate.
Right.
And I wouldn't be buying the business there, just be worried about who knows what.
Plus, I mean, you get rid of all the mosquitoes that are going there for the neighborhood. I mean, the neighborhood is benefiting.
That's a trash pit right now.
Okay?
And it looks that way.
What do you,
We're not disagreeing with all that. What we're trying to hash out here is, you know, do we put the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart?
Well, we've been here before, we've come a long ways, I've spent a lot
I
of
think for him
money.
to go to the other agencies, he needs our blessing.
I really do need, you know, the town to say, yes, we're in favor, and yes.
They're still gonna get another shot at him on the fine, whatever they eventually do. But someone's gonna say yes to get him on the road.
What do you think of it?
I think it sounds like a reasonable plan to, do this whole thing. DEP is going to be obviously giving you input. I don't see a problem with giving a lesson
Carl?
I think it's a wonderful plan, everybody benefits.
John?
I do too.
Want to give me a motion?
We'll go with the majority.
Thank you, David.
All right, I'll make a motion that we, well, first we close motion to close public, unless anybody has any.
Just a quick question. I think that what Mr. Chase is saying is correct. I think that the board needs to, because I'm pretty sure that DEP and DCR, the first thing they're gonna ask him is, have you been to the West Boylston, Concom, and what did they say? So if you've given him, the okay, then that's gonna go a long way for him. So I think you're doing the right thing by just, giving him
It's not that everybody doesn't have input here. We didn't take away anybody's rights.
No,
All the stakeholders.
See, I gotta say this too, in my opinion, I gotta say this personally. Since I've been on the board, I've never had to come up with something like that, where this is a man-made situation, and you're gonna fill in what is now open. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I was a little hesitant.
I'm not I don't know much about the whole EPA conservation, situation, but I know for a fact that, this guy just started dumping in this trench here, okay? And now I'm willing to pay to take his dump and properly, escort it, out of the area and down the road.
That's what he did things 50 years ago.
So, I mean,
That idea has been there, well, it used to be the idea years ago. Chris, that was back in the '60s.
Right. All right, anybody else from the public? All right, so I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second, all fair?
All right, I make a motion to accept the plans with the understanding that DEP and DCR sign off favorably for. Anything else?
Yeah, when you return to us, you should have already gone, assuming that these people go along with it, what they believe they will. Because I'm perfectly willing to know with DCL, because that will be a problem. DEP will say yes in a heartbeat. That's what the quality that you're gonna give them, which is their interest. And I will get on and meet with the owner, but assume that you'll probably meet with him. John's a reasonable guy. And do what I can do, and then you're gonna have to go to planning, and then you'll have a definitive plan, at which time I want you to come back here.
Yeah.
Then we'll have no other conditions,
Right, exactly.
Doesn't have to go to planning, doesn't have 15.
That's right, if you're under, I was at 14.
I don't plan on going over
If it's
So-
like, keep it at 14, no, you don't.
And basically, this is the plan they were scoping, so,
Right.
now and after we go through the thing, this is the final. We've been through a few plans, by the way, before we got to this, so, this has been ongoing now. We first came here, I think, in January, and then we continued it, and
We've met several times on the site.
gone through all the different, variations of this thing, and here we are in April. I was hoping to, start.
I would look forward to it, I want to know when the goals.
So, anyways, I appreciate that.
So I'll wrap this up on Sunday.
Okay.
We need to,
Seconded. Second.
all in favor? So I'll write we'll write a letter for you. Okay, these other agencies.
Appreciate it.
If you have any problems, call me. And no problem for you.
All right, good.
They're ready for Tom.
All right, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One more, yeah, it's 2 minutes left. You gotta take a shot. You gotta speed it up.
Sam,
Plans go with that.
Let's do that again.
all right, Wilson, Conservation Commission, public hearing notice, public hearing will be held in accordance with the general laws, chapter 131, section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, on the application of that follow Sandsman Corporation notice of intent to propose addition to senior living campus building and associated apartments within the Washington, New Jersey. Within existing developed areas in 65 Briarwood Circle, Worcester, Mass. Public hearing will be held Monday, April 2nd, 2018.
On the way back, just want to hand over the green cards. These are all the ones from Worcester, who are almost 90. And these are the ones that must be well, and they're numbered, And so the only ones that we didn't get back, these are the ones with the yellow highlighting. Because the actual projects are not what they made.
Great, thank you.
Fun with that one?
Thank you.
The back.
Thanks.
Houses.
Okay, gentlemen, you're on.
Using a Robert White from Beals and Thomas.
Just on the side, congratulations, the first one in 4 years in the beginning, like, my cards.
There were 90. We have a condominium over.
No one ever does that.
No, that is the first.
Anyway, continue.
But anyway, I'm Robert White, Beals and Thomas. I'm a landscape architect with Beals and Thomas. We're the civil engineers, surveyors, landscape architects, and planners for this project. With me is Paul Ballard, who's the CEO of the Briarwood Communities, and behind me is Kevin Kozak, who's with is the architect for the project. And, but basically, what we'll be talking about is a building addition. I don't know whether you're familiar with the site itself, but it's off of Briarwood Circle. The Worcester town line, city line is cuts right through the property. About 28 acres of the land is in West Boylston, and another 45 total, I think it was, is in Worcester as well. And the reason you have 90 some abutters is that there's quite a few houses and condos and that sort of thing. But what we're talking about is a building addition off of, this is the existing Birch's building, there's a community center. This is the new building and a future addition. And so when we say future addition, that's beyond what we're planning currently. But we're going to be designing all the stormwater improvements and that sort of thing for the future edition, so that we will have to actually come back later. But there are existing buildings all through this facility, and what we're talking about is basically going to be what's over in this corner. There's a wetland. If you're familiar, Century Drive is on this side, and it's undeveloped through the center between there, wooded. But the wetland itself cuts down through between Century Drive and the Birch's building. This is just the existing topographic plan zooming in. This is a 30 scale. This is the Birch's building, which has existing parking on it. There's a maintenance building up on the hill. And what we're talking about is in this area generally. We're going to be modifying some of the parking here. The new building will be coming across at this location. But the wetlands themselves are on the eastern side of the property and basically stays mostly on the downhill side of the stone wall. Generally, the farmers knew where the wetlands are, but for some reason it migrated above the stone wall in this one location. But there's a little bit of wetland that comes up onto the property. All this is on the adjacent land by the St. Pierre Associates that own that. There's an existing fire lane that comes around, serving the parking area around the Birch's building. And then, so we'll be talking about the proposed template. I don't know if you want to see the details of it. Again, it's 30 scale. This is the proposed Birch's building. The green is showing the wetlands boundary. Proposing erosion control barrier between the grading work that's being proposed. The orange is the 100-foot buffer zone. This tan color is the new building. And it's basically an addition that will have a garage at the lower floor, 45 parking spaces underneath the ground, 2 floors above that, with units that will be, I think they're 24 units.
12 on each floor.
12 on each floor in this wing. This is like a connector building and the main entrance coming in. 24 units above that, and then there'll be amenities. In this building is a wellness center. There'll be an indoor pool serving the needs of the community itself. And as I mentioned, the future building will be designed for. We're just basically grading it off to be able to build that in the future. But we are managing all the stormwater for the future runoff from this proposed building. There'll be a slight parking addition at this one side. We have a fire lane that goes around connecting to that existing fire lane. That existing fire lane basically comes around at this location that's out there today. But we're continuing that up to connect to the main driveway at this location up in here. From a stormwater management standpoint, the soils were pretty terrible in terms of rock. And so we know we're going to need to blast rock in that situation. That does help us in terms of when we went through the stormwater design, because we don't have a lot of infiltration to begin with. And so we couldn't really infiltrate, and so we have that in the stormwater management, is that we're actually doing pipe storage. And there are actually 2 locations here and 1 over here. And so what we'll do is collect the water, and as I mentioned, it's designed for the future building. Collect the water and then let it out at a slower rate. And then that continues on down. There's another area taking some of the stormwater from the roofs from this part of the building into a collection system, detains it, and then slowly lets it out. And then that then connects into a stormwater system that's existing, shown with the blue dash, that then connects on down. And that actually goes into Worcester. And so the drainage system is in Worcester at that location. On this side, we have the parking area. In every situation, any of the parking lot runoff we put into water quality inlets before it goes into a pipe storage system. And so we'll have water quality inlets, pipe storage system, and then that gets into this existing drainage system as well. So we're basically putting erosion controls around the perimeter, water quality and pipe storage detention to mitigate peak rates of runoff. Some of the utilities we'll be serving coming off the existing driveway that's out here now has utility services on it. What else? It'll work in the buffer zone. But any of this, like this whole fire lane, that is all being treated and heading into this area. So when we looked at a stormwater management, we're basically, this hill used to all head over to the wetlands, but because we're cutting it back, there's less runoff getting down to that area. And so we're not taking any paved surfaces going to the wetlands itself. We're treating it and discharging it down into the Worcester system itself. We are submitting to the planning board, or we have submitted to the planning board. We have to go through a special permit amendment. And so that hearing, we have peer review consultant reviewing the plans. That hearing is not scheduled until May 9th. And so what we will do is if you have any questions or comments or whatever, we'll just have you, if you're all clear on everything, we'll keep the hearing open until after May 9th in case they have any changes to the plan, so you're not, we won't have to come back to you for changes.
When do you anticipate starting this project?
Start construction?
We'd like to start this summer, assuming we get all our permitting and we get all the budget works for Paul and Briarwood, but our hope is to start sometime this summer.
And I would assume, what is it coming?
Yes, yeah, we're the design builder. I represent the design side, but we're hired as a
You still up on Hampton Street?
Yes.
Fred Milligan still there?
He is still there, just barely. He's this close to retiring.
Everybody you know is just
In fact, the next time you come here, you ask me that question, the answer will be no.
Really?
He's very close.
I've known Fred for 20 years.
Your engineer is still alive. Told us a very well thought out plan. Very seldom do I get someone that gets it and put it in print.
Yes, so they have the money.
Well, there's that. It's an amazing thing. Now that's the next one. That's did this job.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Like I said, I think we just like you to keep the hearing open until after May 9th.
So would that mean we wouldn't be back until June? Because this meeting is the first Monday, and our meeting wouldn't be until.
When you get it done, if you call us, I can do a special meeting.
Okay.
And we'll get it done.
Or would you rather close and take the chance in case anything changes?
I would imagine you guys would want to leave it open.
We leave it open.
I
Then
was-
you're gonna have to refile, there's no work.
I know.
I mean, $95 is a lot of money.
Yeah, notify butters.
It would be great if we wouldn't have to wait till the beginning of
We can
June.
hold a special meeting.
And who knows, I mean, we'll find out at the May 9th. I mean, ideally, if the peer review is addressed, but I assume, I mean, we may be back in June anyway, right, Robert? Depending on how it goes in May.
Yeah, that's the first meeting of the planning board. If anything continues on that, it could be late May.
Oh, that's right, because they meet every other week.
Yeah.
Right.
So
They meet twice a month, they meet twice a month.
Right.
We meet once a month.
All right, so make a motion to extend, the public hearing until next meeting.
Second, all in favor? This imposing figure here is the ZBA chair.
Oh, no. Is this Century Drive?
No, Century Drive is off to the east.
Okay. Because I heard you say something about.
Yeah,
St. Peter's
There,
property.
yeah, St. Peter's property is abuts the property on the east
Is
side.
that the 24 acres that's not building, that's not building?
Right, that's, you're thinking of the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
They may come back into that.
Right, because now there's another project that's gonna go up on that 24 acres of land.
Well,
Right.
They're looking to do that.
They're looking to do that, that's why I was just
They're
wondering.
on the backside, you let circle. come down.
Right.
They're over here.
Because that's where the road is not finished. Is where they're talking about possibly building, and they're talking about another senior complex there. Which is,
How many units is that?
Well, there's 24 in this one, and then in the future, there's another 16.
Well, there's a 12,
There's also 12.
I'm sorry,
There's
12.
24 independent.
the two little Alzheimer's care.
But that's what you're gonna build.
Yes. And then there's a future addition that is planned for independent apartments very similar to these. So it's 24, 12, and then 16 in the future.
Could I ask, could you show me please, where you, this is all,
I was just curious on
Well,
where Century Drive was, because like I said, where the Girl Scouts is that there was 9 acres of crop, 9 acres of land. The Girl Scouts crop 2, the other 7 acres is non-buildable, it's all wetlands. But across the street, there's a section of that Century Drive that's not finished. It comes to a point, Well, right where that's not finished is where that 24 acres of land is, and that's where they're talking possibly about building a senior complex there, which is, I think, about 300-something units. But they're only gonna take half, they might only take.
That's what's the,
No, that's in West Boylston.
But that's just, they haven't gone out to, develop of that or anything like that, so.
It's just talk.
now I'm getting tired.
You know, they don't worry about it.
Somebody else's problem.
It's joining, Fred.
thank you guys very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well presented, thank you. Finally.
See, right, green lights too.
I know, I mentioned that, they never do.
Is Dave Rick still there?
He is. He's got a short time frame too, but he's still there.
You see him?
Yep.
Do you remember my name?
Sure, yep.
Oh, that's okay, the ball,
I will
we
do
should do a
that.
lot of work to.
Oh, site?
But I'm going back to your meeting right on, and we'll give
That
the
predates me a little bit, so.
So, it's not,
I let him know, yeah, it's, we've been busy, so.
so that, right, I see you, good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What's the other?
The update is.
Thank you.
The engineer is the problem, thank you. Yeah, he's not answering the questions they want answered. He's got a narrative, no, that's not what they want to hear. All we gotta do is
But he
answer.
said he didn't have an extent, they continued it, but they didn't even.
That is all true. All he did was answer 3 questions for them, and we're all set.
It's it's an ego thing, I think, at this point.
It's too bad, in my
It's not
opinion,
like you want to get it done. He didn't-
we want to get it done, he wants to get it done, but it's on his side, it's in his
Really?
realm, and we can't do anything. There's nothing we can do.
you can-
Excuse me, it's just too bad that, he's holding out, it's too bad.
It is more suffering.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I told him, that's all I can do.
Are the
It's outside
questions
of
ones
purview.
that wouldn't make them look good, or?
We don't know. We don't know what.
We don't know what the questions
We don't know what the questions are, we don't know what the
are.
answers are.
Did you talk to, was it Farnsworth?
I talked to John, yeah, but then I talked to other people. And then I had a 2-hour conversation with Vincent McNally, who cooperated everything else that I had heard. So,
It's outside our purview, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm just.
I know what the problem is I can't do anything. So that's that.
My question though is, will Eddie know what the problem is?
I told him, I told him years ago. It's just,
Well, we have a conversation, we probably should be back in this is costing them all this, aggravation.
Well,
I have no problem even doing whatever you wanna do. As long as we remember, we're representing this board. Certain things are outside our jurisdiction. So that's saying you're friends with them, that's one thing. So,
like I said earlier, Bill, you can eat a hot water and drop it, you can't make a drink.
Update on Lancaster Street, we have a cease and desist and
How's that going?
coincidentally, no one's seen either here today.
But there's a lot of lumber. There's a lot of lumber all over the place.
Yeah, it's been there.
It's been there?
Yeah.
This is the,
The one with the dumpster, they tore it down.
Oh, oh,
And they thought our land looked like a great place to drop the
Oh.
bus.
So that little bit of what was there?
Yeah, was it?
According to Bill, it's, I guess it's dumped a lot of building stones and stuff.
So he hasn't seen him,
Nothing.
That's why he gave us his.
but is the stuff like still there?
Oh, yeah, I mean, nothing's changed.
There's like 3 walls up.
Yeah.
And then, there's a lower lumber, some more framing over there.
And the only solid thing there is what they put up, and then the
Yeah.
foundation's gonna fall in.
Because that was the guy that bought that at auction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
what about the complaint about the,
So,
no, the storage containers underground?
that, I went by there, there's not even a little back on it, let alone a big enough back on it.
I went by there about 5 times myself, and
There's nothing,
there's nothing there.
never been in it.
There's nothing there. I mean, come on.
Yeah, let's say UFO going at night or something.
You get a better shot of seeing, planet Earth, seeing that come on.
Emily.
Here we are, we're supposed to.
He's got a backyard that's this big, right? And he's got 4 or 5 of those big containers.
Someone's gonna read these
You don't
minutes.
have enough room to put those in?
Okay, what do you think?
Anybody else read it?
They look fine to me. I read them.
Did you really, you did, okay.
Make a motion, that one.
Let me make the motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of written.
See, I go. Education's a terrible thing to waste.
Oh my God, I read minutes. Stumble through
Miscellaneous
public hearings.
mail, I looked at it, it's a wonderful thing. Oh yeah, approval of minutes. Motion?
I just made the motion.
Oh,
Who's gonna?
I'm not paying attention, I'm
Obviously.
trying to get out of here.
She made,
I made the motion to approve the minutes.
I
of
said,
written.
you got a second, all those approved, in favor, yes.
Alright.
This one is, I know what kind of game starts.
Yeah.
what's that now?
It's game, talking about the politics.
I just had a question about the minutes. I was just concerned.
Can you submit it in writing, I'll read it Monday?
Anything that referred to DCR, I just wanted to make sure that it was all right.
I thought you did a good job with them.
Why do you think there was something controversial?
No, it's just that, I don't know, they usually manage to find something they disagree with.
We don't disagree with everything. We did.
Well, that's just getting used, those days.
And I tried to be general, but
I didn't see anything like that, to be honest with you.
Now, get through with the building, a little bit of that. What else do we have to talk about? It was high.
oh, it was this, affidavits for the spoiler conditions from Angel Brook.
Yes.
It was,
Tell me, the attorney call you.
he's either attorney or from the realty or whatever, but they were looking to find out if there was a certificate of compliance on a couple of orders of conditions. for 100 Hartwell Street, and they do have certificates of compliance, but they were actually, it was for Angelbrook, but it was for that 100 Hartwell.
What's 100 Hartwell Street? What road is that?
This was the one that they had
I think,
That's where the schools were, they're empty now. They back up to Angelbrook. They're down the hill from Curtis.
No, but what would they have with certificate of plans? What do they do over there?
I don't know, they did anything over there. I don't know. I'm not really.
That's an old backlot. They got that.
we started calling that back in 1967.
No, it's not a
Council
council.
built that building.
Isn't it?
That's a.
I used to work in that building.
Really?
Yeah, that's how.
How's that name involved in?
I don't think there's anything over there now.
What
That
did they
building
want
was
us to
first
do?
built, it was, they used to make labeling machines.
They
Welding
wanted,
machines, put labels on. They had 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No, but what would there be?
this person that inquired about it.
There is a brook in the back.
They want a copy of the original order of conditions. There were 2 orders of conditions. One was recorded, one was not recorded, and they want to be able to record it to get that all squared away. But this guy, you know, I don't really understand who he's for. I mean, I can,
Toby, do you know when the first order of conditions was issued?
No, because we don't have them, right? Did we give them to them to record?
this is for 100 Hartwell Street. This is going back to '06.
I think this is the one that the lots are screwed up and Charlene was straightening that out.
I think we did get it straightened out. There was a file that was file number 206 and 0206.
Okay, because we had 2 of these. One was with
Yeah.
Cigarelli and one was with this.
And this here, I mean, we issued a certificate of compliance for it, but the order of conditions was never recorded.
Right.
The other one that they wanted was recorded, so that's all
That
set.
one's good.
But yeah, but this one wasn't.
And this
so
is a copy of the original?
these are yeah, and I told them we would have to do like an affidavit or something to
What I
attest.
don't understand is why would an order of conditions be issued for that? What did they do to require it? You don't know?
This is so far back, I have
I don't
no,
remember.
I don't know if you wanna read what it's for, but it was one of the ones on that property.
The public hearing was 8706.
100 Hartwell, yeah, it just happens though to be issued to Angel.
Adult living community.
This is very good.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
Why would this be over there?
We back up to them.
Did you ever, did they ever have it over there?
What?
Did they take part of their land there? Did they buy something from them?
I don't, well, we have that access road.
Where's that
That
from?
goes in the backside from Tony Drive, it goes, there's a gate, and if you take the gate down, you can drive through and come right down the east side of 100 Hartwell Street.
I still
We're
have
required to have that.
Oh,
To
maybe,
maintain.
maybe they had some kind of,
Maybe it was that,
private house department.
because then, I mean, that's our other exit. And if anything happened, like if the train went across and blocked the road.
You know what, why don't we give this down to Lee?
Yeah.
And because she understands everything. Have her contact these people. Or have them contact, no, I'm serious. You at least know what they're talking about. I have no
Well,
clue what they're talking
no, you know who should call us is, Rick Stack. What's his name?
about. Stady,
Stady.
Stady.
You're the one.
Stadi's the,
You're the one.
Yeah,
who likes
right.
it.
Right. He might know.
109 Boston Post Room, Bellborough, Mass.
not about
The reason I know that is my building, I sold it.
it. No, Stady would know exactly what was done and when.
But anyway, I'm gonna hand that to you. Just let me know what it is.
Excuse me? You're calling Stady though.
Oh, you want me to do it, really? I'll call back, I don't care.
Maybe I should have this guy, this Eric Leclerc guy.
Have him call me, let's find out what he's talking about here. Because I don't remember anything being down there. Unless they bought it for drainage. Remember, we were gonna have to put in some additional drainage.
But let's see, should, let's say, it was the second exit. That could be, it could be that.
Could be that.
Could be what?
Second
So
exit.
that exit.
I mean, I still have to.
See, that's the only thing that makes any sense to me, but.
See, I had Charlie and Dave lived there, I really didn't pay attention to any of this, it didn't make any difference to me.
I don't really understand
coming down the
what
hill,
wants either.
first
If
on
you
the right.
go, if you
I
take
don't
first
understand
step
the
driveway,
like, he's trying
you're
to
not taking
have
the
us
very
walk
next
back
direction,
there,
it's on your heart.
and
If
he's
you're
not
not
straight.
straight, you'll hit a gate with a chain, and that's the end of our place.
So, why don't you contact whoever's guy is and tell him he needs some more information to pursue?
Should I have him
Just
call
let him
him?
do the
Yeah,
work.
I'm calm, I mean, because we could do it, it's just, we need to know what a rubber gate is.
He said they were having a closing or on something, so I don't know what they buy. Is that up for sale?
I think so, it's empty right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
So,
Well, that Arnie Frost owns that building.
I have no idea.
Okay, so this is a cloud on title, yeah, it is.
Right, and so I told her, I says, well, the certificates of compliance were issued. And he's just looking for like an original order of conditions. I says, well, the applicant got those.
Well, even if we give them an order of conditions, they're gonna have to refile it because it's a new owner. So from that point of view, this board that has no exposure.
I better have him call you
I
now.
would think, let him do the work. He's basically, he's a big bucks for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
I agree
I
with
feel
Tom.
like he's dumping everything.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree with
Yeah, it's
John.
not us that's screwed up. I have no problem, that's fine by me.
Why should we get it?
So meanwhile, one of his orders is recorded,
Which is fine, so he's got 50% of what he asked for.
but it's just
It's
that one.
this one, and we need to know what it was, right?
And it's not gonna hold up a closing, because all they're gonna do is gonna put a little bit of money in a,
Exactly.
in a thing, so it's not gonna hold up a closing.
So I'll have him call you.
Yep, I'm calling probably, because we can reproduce it. I just put an addendum to it and we'll sign it. And date it, and then he's done, he can record it. The only thing he's got a problem with, he has to record it originally.
Right, and
That's
that's
what
what
his
he
problem
wanted this
is.
for.
Right.
But we can't just issue that without
I haven't got a clue what it
he's
is.
doing. Okay.
I have no clue what Mike was doing originally either.
Because the order of conditions doesn't say what the project was, does it?
That's the problem. I mean, if he told me what tree he was talking about, I would probably remember it.
That makes sense that it was our back racing plan. I can't think of what else. I don't know that it changed property lines, but I know we have to do that gate, and I know we have to pay so much to.
That's your report, that's my report, we got no plan.
Yeah, he wanted two copies.
Are you gonna? You won't like me.
Shouldn't the order of conditions
no. I don't know what anybody.
I guess
when it's standing alone, it doesn't
Is that
tell
what
you
we
what
want?
Yeah, it should reference what it is.
I mean, I've got the whole file on it,
Right there?
Let me run down
but
tomorrow.
yeah, it should have something in it.
Should I get a motion tonight to authorize me to discuss that?
All right, I'm good, if you have something, you have to have it.
All right, I need a motion to authorize me to talk to Anita to get money put away for her, what do you call it, salary. Because we're out of money. And I thought he had already done something, and
The
then
warrant closes Wednesday, so it doesn't.
so I'll get up to Anita tomorrow morning, and get something put on.
We have to make a motion for Bill to talk to Anita. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just for me to conduct business in regards to the.
Yeah, I think a motion that Bill Chase has, been on to talk to Anita in regards to.
What I'm looking for is like a $10,000 revolving account, and then we get our
I thought you
money.
said that was already done.
I thought it was, but it's not.
I'd say on the warrant, but it could, I could be wrong, it might be on the warrant, but just to double check.
I just need permission to talk to her, that's all.
That's fine.
Why do you need permission from us to talk to Anita?
Because I really am, I'm just a single commissioner, even though I'm chair. You need permission from the group to go do stuff outside the
Motion.
group.
Yeah, but this is your committee.
Finally, yes. My committee.
I second the motion.
Did I do it right there?
Whatever you told us that it was how the money would get moved around in order to do that. I didn't know that it had to go on a warrant, but that was approved.
I thought we gave a little bit of money in black, and I told them.
I thought we did.
I don't think we did anything this.
No, we didn't do it.
Because we got these, you You're out of it, yeah, we won't give you 25
Yeah,
minutes.
see,
talking
I'm out of the loop, so I don't know, because he's got the same problem.
The problem was already taken care of, because we both he and I.
Where are you tomorrow morning?
I'm working.
You got a job?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Just ask any, if you're good, if not, let's say, just gonna vote on it.
All right. Did you get it on Hire a Vet? How many have to do that?
But I do have something to ask you.
What?
When we get to you.
By the way, it's just Keith, she's in
You're interested in this?
Yeah. Well, my background's in environmental science, and I'm going to grad school for urban environmental planning, so this is my thing. So.
Urban environmental planner?
Urban and environmental policy.
You only need two things. I can save you a ton of money. A can of gas and a match. Start again.
She's done a good job for us.
Okay, great. So you are an associate member now? Or?
I'm on FISP, and I was put on FISP. I wanted to be on the conservation committee or open space or something.
She hadn't spoken to me about that. That's
Yeah, they needed me on FISP when they were doing all the senior center stuff, so that's where the vacancy was. So then I hopped on there with the expectation that I would kind of move around and wherever I'm needed, so.
All right.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome here.
Sweet, thank you.
Actually, Alan, I did not renew it, he hasn't been here in 10 years.
Because did he sell himself?
Oh.
You didn't see that email?
Really? No.
Because Nancy said that he already, or it was either from her or Anita, that they already put him in again.
Really? Cool.
They didn't think there would be any objection to it.
Because I told Nancy
Alan
myself,
Phillips?
no. Sorry.
Oh, did they put my back in, is that what you're saying?
No, Alan Phillips.
Well, you know, that's wrong, because it's up to the chairman, if he doesn't show up for so many consecutive meetings, that he tell him not on the meeting, so they shouldn't have done
But anyway, you're on.
Okay, wonderful. So is
Because I've
it,
got the chairman selectman right here, and you did
1,000 years. So she's an associate member?
Yes.
yeah, so is it every Monday at 7 routinely?
First Monday of the month.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, so it's always Mondays.
Yep.
Okay,
What's
awesome.
your name?
Kate.
Kate, and I usually meet Sunday mornings, not too early. With Toby, this is Toby, our secretary.
At the school.
Oh, really? And
Yeah, what time's
we
it?
write the rules we do tonight, we have addendums to it that we fill out rather than, drag out the meeting.
Okay.
Such as tonight, because we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
And this is Emily, who has
Hello, Emily.
just completed her paperwork, so she can prove she's a commissioner.
Yes.
And there's the alleged commissioner, Dave. He did it, but there were only 4 pages in the law.
Right, it's a long time ago. And the rest of, then the last 50 years was, how many pages?
About 1,300, just, I refer to most of it as dangling participles.
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, you may.
Oh, I may do that.
What is with you tonight?
I just have something. The DPW director sent out an email to us, and to you guys too. There's gonna be there's a new, MS4 stormwater permit regulation.
We got this.
Okay, and he needs somebody from your board.
Okay.
I nominated Bill before.
I second it.
All in favor?
I third.
There you go.